This will be just a general tour of what Hawkeye can offer. When you first start your program, it is a great habit to make to go to proximity and check calculate proximity. What that's going to do, when you go to your 3D screen, um, you can uncheck any of these sites that you want to check. So if you want to see something, you can have these things pop up, or you can just turn everything off. Your hard hat, if you click the hard hat, that's going to give you a view, bird's eye view of your work curve. If you click this is going to have you, you're going to be scrolling up and down your well plan at this point, and W is going to scroll you up and down your as drilled surveys, or your work curve is it's called. But when you close out, the proximity will not be on. So if you look at your 3D screen, when you first open the program, there is no way to tell how far you are from another one of these wells. But when you open your program, this will be unchecked by default. So if you want to reference and click calculate proximity, it's going to tell you your distance from every well that you have here in your offsets. So from your 3D screen now, you'll see that all of a sudden our lease line, hard line distances have shown up in these yellow tubes. And this one right here is a well that's already on this pad. If you will just find one of these tubes that connects the two, click on it, and it will tell you what's your distance. So 19.1 feet from the two wells. When you uncheck the proximity, it will disable this. So a few things to look at. We're going to go into settings, and I have mine set to auto save every 5 minutes. By default, when you first open Hawkeye for the very first time, this will not be checked. So check auto save. That way all of your data saves every 5 minutes, and you can adjust the time span. Excuse me. So once you check it, it will stay checked indefinitely until you go in here and uncheck it. If you've seen the other videos, you can see that where you can change the survey grid settings, take out what you want to take out, and move everything around the way that you meets your preferences. You can make any other adjustments that you're wanting to make in here. Most of this you do not ever have to mess with. It's just kind of going to work the way it is. But I do recommend adjusting this and hitting autosave. So there are several tools that you can use throughout all this. Most of this on your day-to-day basis is not going to be of use. The 3D screen, you can make adjustments here. There again, these aren't any things that you're really going to have to change. So it's going to show the hard lines. So we want it to show the lines and actually show us what they are. Any objects that the well planner has, it'll show that. You can edit your lease lines and hard lines. Those are going to be presented to you with the EDM created. So your casing, if you're wanting to see any casing, you can add casing depths here, and it will show you once you put your casing ID and your information. It will then appear on here, so you'll actually see in 3D where your casing is run. You'll have this quick plot screen. So if you're in say surface hole location, your drilling surface, you will be able to click any of these. So if you want to see any of this, you can see the vertical, horizontal. So this is going to be kind of what you're used to in WindServe. You right click to drag, left click to give you distances. You can adjust your axis TVD. So let's just say 2,500 feet. And you will see, so if I want to tell distance between something, you just click on one spot, hold the mouse button down, and it will give you your distance and the other information needed there. So right click, drag, gives you your measured distances. You can set all of this to get you where you need to be. So if you're horizontal, we're wanting to find TD want to see hardline information. So we know, as referenced in one of the other videos, we can see this hard line now. So we know we're 50 feet. That's where they want us to land. They want us to go 50 feet over. So that's another way that you can see all of this information. So each one of these will give you a different outlook. What you're going to want to do when you first open this is your vertical section direction. Your bottom line is not going to match. So you're just going to go to VS for your vertical section. You can do this on either one of the screens and change your vertical section to whatever your vertical section for your well plan will be. So that's one of the first things you're going to want to do. It's going to be 0, 0, 0 by default. So you have your survey screen. Anything over here is your data tree. This is all of your wells that are on your pad. These are going to be any of your offsets that are labeled as offsets in your EDM file. You have your projection to bit, your measured depth projections, bit projections, TVD projections. The ones that you're mainly going to use is for your curve. You're going to have a 2-bit projection and a nudge. There's a video on that you can watch for your curve calculations. And then this program is going to have this be where you do your BHAs. I do not have a job loaded into this right now, but this will be where you start your job. It will link to a certain curve, and if you're on the wrong curve or it's trying to link to the wrong daily report file, it will let you know. It'll give you a warning box that you're trying to link up to the wrong thing. This will be run just like you're normally used to. So you have all of your daily reporting that is done here. Your proximity, like I say, this is going to show you where you are to any well that you have selected to tell it. You can adjust the distance. So if you want to see something within 100 feet. And to show you this, so we're going to set it on 10 feet. And if you go to the 3D screen, you'll notice that proximity is on, but for some reason, I'm not seeing anything to do with this well. So we knew that we had a distance between these two, but it's not showing us anything. The reason is we have it set to 10 feet. So if we go to 50 feet, we go back to the screen, now all of a sudden it's there. So if you're wanting to reference something and you can't find, it's not connecting, you don't see this little thing, this little tube here to connect on, just go up here and make sure you're viewing a far enough distance out. You got the ladder screen, the vertical section screen, your top view of the well. You can't measure distance from this particular point. You can zoom in, you can look at it, but you can't measure the distance. So if you're wanting to measure the distance, you're going to have to go to Quick Plot. And that's where it'll pop this up and it'll give you your distances to measure everything. When you first start it, you open this up. Even though you've imported the EDM and all of your well information is there, you do not have any job information. So you're going to have to create all of your job information. And when you put this job number, it's also going to create everything for your daily BHA. They are linked together. In your report screen, there are several things that you can do here for your cover page. If you're wanting a cover page comment, but you have to have cover page selected or it's not going to give you that. And for instance, let's just say for this reference, I just want to put who it's prepared by. So you can add any information that you want to put here. And see, now that I've edited that, it just says report prepared by Brian Barber. So if you don't want anything in there, you can go to your centered header, adjust this as however you need it, make it blank, whatever you decide to do. And for your extra data, you can go to your hard lines or your lease lines. This will tell you your points of contact for those. And if you want to load a company logo, you can do that under load logo. It needs to be a PNG or a bitmap file. And if you want to export Excel, you can have the Excel sheet. and export everything that way. It's not necessary to do that for morning report reasons. You're just going to want to load this up and print it, and then print it as a PDF, and close out of this. So once your job information is added, your report, we'll show you this too. I'll go back into this. Since I do not have any job information, all of this is blank. Everything here is going to be filled out because that came over from the well planner within the EDM file, but none of your job information is created. So you will have to create that, or your report will be blank. That needs to be filled out before your first morning report. And basically that's it. You do have the help screen. So Hawkeye does have a user's guide built into it. So you can click on the user's guide. It will download the user's guide for you. There are hotkeys for the keyboard that you can, I don't want to, clicked on the wrong one. Hotkeys. So you can open up this, and these are hotkeys for the keyboard that if you're wanting to just quickly get into something without using a mouse, and all of your information will be there to tell you what does what. You do have the user's guide, you have the quick start guide, and that's really all that's going to be important for you to know at this point. If there are any questions, you can reach out to me and we will address any issues that may arise.